is. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay. Testing. Come on over here, microphone. Testing, testing. Testing. All right, there we go. We should be officially live now. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, okay? I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. We're back live streaming again. Why is it doing that weird thing? Why is it doing that weird thing? Okay, we should be good. We should be good. We should be good. Connor, welcome to the stream. How are you doing, man? Dwayne, hello. Everyone, welcome, 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 welcome. How was everyone's day today? Happy holidays. Thank you, Miss Lady Blue. Same to you. Today we're going to be talking about anxiety and panic symptoms, overcoming anxiety and panic symptoms. Let me just knock a few things out real quick. Give people a minute to get in here before we get going. Chris Sick, hello, what's going on, you guys? How are you today? I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. Let's see here. Alright, let me switch scenes real quick. I will eventually figure out why that happens, so we don't have to do that anymore, but for now, this is what makes chat work, so... Right there, that should have done it. Sometimes you have to do it twice. I don't know why it does that. What up, Wonder Bro? Hope all is well. All is well, man. How are you doing? Angie, hello. Okay, let me do this again. Alright. There we go. That got chat working. That got chat working. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing. But it is. Let's see. Alright, alright. I'm great. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good today. Hello, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. Today, we are talking about overcoming anxiety and panic symptoms. Because if it wasn't for the symptoms, it would not be a problem, right? It wouldn't be a problem. No one would care about anxiety. No one would care about panic if it weren't for the symptoms. So today we're going to be focusing on those symptoms and how to overcome them. I bet you already have an idea of what I'm going to say. If you've been on the channel for a while, you probably already got an idea of what I'm going to say. But we're going to do it regardless. Very proud of you, Angela. That is awesome. What did you have to eat? I have not ate today yet, but I woke up extremely late. I've not been up that long, so I haven't had time to develop an appetite yet. A few more minutes, and we will get this stream going, you guys. Just a few more minutes. Was the alien dancing? Yes. Get the glasses back on because I'm blind as a bat without them. Hello from Canada. Hello, hello, welcome. How are you doing? Waffle House, nice. I am jealous. I am jealous. Okay. Okay, before we get too into the chat, we're going to go ahead and do the point of this stream, which is overcoming anxiety and panic symptoms. What is a good way to do that? What is a good way to do that? And if you have questions, try to save them for after the point of the stream because they will get buried and I won't be able to read them. Alright, so overcoming anxiety and panic symptoms. What is a good way to do that? What is a good way to do that? Now, one way, okay, that really helped me out while I was using acceptance and recovering, as far as the symptoms were concerned, was to look at them for what they really are. Now, let me explain that, okay? In my case, and this is just an example, you can apply it to whatever your case may be. In my case, my major fear was going crazy. Like, I had several fears, but my biggest fear was that at the end of the day, I'm going to go crazy due to this anxiety and panic. Now, because of that fear, anytime I felt adrenaline, which I felt a lot of, okay, during my journey, I felt a lot of, anytime I felt that symptom, automatically in my mind, I'd be like, okay, Here comes my fear. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna go crazy. You see this? You feel these feelings? That means I'm gonna go crazy. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to control myself. I'm just gonna lose all control because they're all too overwhelming. And I would fall down this negative rabbit hole. Okay, and that's what I would continue to tell myself, and those are the sorts of thoughts I would continue to entertain. But what I started doing, okay, after I discovered acceptance and really started dedicating to recovery, was being real with my symptoms. So instead of thinking all the things that I just discussed, I would start thinking more rational about the symptoms. Okay, I would see them for what they really were. Okay, I wouldn't obsess about them. I would just see them for what they really were. So when I had the adrenaline come on, I would remind myself, this doesn't mean I'm going crazy. This is just a little bit extra energy. Okay, this is what you would feel if you were on a roller coaster, for say, or if you were scared, if you went and seen a scary movie. These feelings are just exaggerated feelings of that. I would see them for what they really were, not what my mind made them out to be. And you can do this with any of your symptoms. So start seeing your symptoms for what they really are, not what your mind is making them out to be. You see, my mind made my symptoms out to be, oh, this is a sign that you're going crazy. Oh, this is a sign that you're going to lose it. You're not going to be able to control this. But once I started really using acceptance, I got real about my symptoms. So, there's the adrenaline. So let's say you get the sinking feeling in the gut. Okay, that's a really uncomfortable one that a lot of people deal with. A lot of people take that feeling as, oh, something terrible is going to happen. And of course, if you entertain that, you're just going to start to spiral, right? So instead of entertaining, oh, something terrible is about to happen, that's what this feeling means, we're going to be real about it from now on. So when you get that sinking feeling in the gut, it's not, oh, something terrible is going to happen. It's literally just a sinking feeling in the gut. You see, we're looking at these feelings for what they really are, not for what the mind is trying to make them out to be, because we know the mind is predominantly negative, okay, worst case scenarios, and we know that when we fall into the trap of entertaining these negative thoughts, that we tend to spiral. And we add an unnecessary amount of fear. And this second fear is what keeps our nerves tired at the end of the day. So it really is as simple as viewing your symptoms for what they really are. And a good way to do this is to truly look at them. Become still, okay? Become still and truly look at them for what they are. For what they are, not what your mind makes them out to be. So I gave you an example of my case. I would have the adrenaline, and then my mind would make that out to be, oh, this is a sign that I'm going to lose it, that I'm going to go crazy. I would have the sinking gut feeling, and my mind would make it out to be, oh, this is a sign that something terrible is going to happen. I'd have these symptoms, and my mind would make them out to be things that they weren't, okay? Things that they're not. So you have to see these feelings in a more rational light. You have to see these feelings in a more rational light. You have to look at them for what they really are, okay? Instead of falling down the rabbit hole of what the mind says that they might be or that they are, because they're not what the mind makes them out to be. They're not what the mind makes them out to be. You really, really have to start seeing them for what they are, okay? And to do this, we need to become still in those moments. Instead of falling down the rabbit hole, we need to become still, and we need to look at them for what they truly are. All right, you guys, so moving forward, next time you feel symptoms come on, I want you to truly look at them. I don't want you to try to run away from them or fight with them. I want you to accept them and truly look at them for what they really are, not what the mind makes them out to be, okay? Use this advice moving forward, and you will recover. So instead of getting involved with those negative thoughts and fighting with them or arguing with them, just accept that the negative thoughts come. Instead of fighting with the symptoms, just accept that they come, but just remain still and real. Just remain still and real. Okay, there's that feeling. It's anxiety. It feels like this. Okay, instead of falling down the rabbit hole of negativity, instead of falling down the rabbit hole of what if thinking, we can accept those thoughts as they come. We don't want to fight with them or run away from them. There's that thought that says I might go crazy. Okay, I accept that, but I know what's really happening. I accept that, but at the end of the day, I know what's really happening. Okay, I accept the thoughts as they come and go. I accept the feelings as they come and go, but I'm not going to fall down that rabbit hole. All right, you guys, so that was the point of today's stream, and we're going to jump right into some comments. Now. I wish I would have remembered to turn my second monitor on. This would be a lot easier if I had, but oh well, we're good. We got this. First time catching you live. I've followed you since I saw a comment you made in the Claire Weeks video. Been an anxiety and panic sufferer for nearly a decade. Well, welcome to the channel, okay? Now you can get on track. Welcome to the channel. Wonder Bro, do you deal with guilt? The thoughts make you feel when you're getting better. Guilt can play a part in this. Guilt can be a common part of this, yes. And a lot of people do feel, guilt because when you're sensitized, your emotions tend to be amplified. So just keep that in mind. It is a bluff at the end of the day. So you have to see these things for what they really are. You have to see these things for the bluff that they are and understand that you are in a tired mind and body. So that's contributing a lot. Great topic. Thank you, Christopher. Hank, thank you, Wonder Bro. Not a problem. Not a problem. So how was everyone's Christmas? How was everyone's Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas? What was everyone up to this Christmas? Two main keys are always going to be key, Connor. It doesn't matter what your particular symptoms are. The two main keys are always going to be key. Hope Santa got you what you wanted on Christmas Day. Mine was great. That's awesome. Didn't get the car from the commercial. Chest pressure is the worst symptom. It really comes down to the individual. So I could have chest pressure, for example, during my recovery, and I did from time to time, but I would much rather have chest pressure than any other symptom that I was currently dealing with. So it really comes down to the individual. Everyone thinks differently about their symptoms. Some people fear this symptom more and that symptom more. It really comes down to the person. Angel, it has nothing to do with your age or the fact that you're growing up. It has everything to do with how identified with your egoic mind that you are. So you can be 50 years old and feel like 12, okay? And you can be mentally just as happy as a 12-year-old running around at 50 if you're not so identified with the egoic mind that says, this is depressing, this is sad, here's all the reasons you should be sad. You see how the egoic mind does, and then you identify with it. You're like, oh, the mind is who I am. And then you fall down this rabbit hole, okay, and now you become this sad person. But it was all just the mind all along, and the mind is not who you are, so keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, okay? Very important to remember that. Your perspective of the world and reality and everything around you has nothing to do with your age or who you are. It has everything to do with how identified or not identified with your egoic mind that you are. You're the best, Wonder Bro. No, you're the best. I have several videos on DPDR that go really in depth. If you want to check those out, I would highly recommend it. Very normal. Ups and downs are very normal. Calling anxiety's bluff is just to remind yourself that nothing has ever happened or will ever happen due to anxiety symptoms. What do I think about heart palpitation? I look at all anxiety symptoms the same. It's an anxiety symptom, and we don't want to look too deep into just one particular symptom. Like, we don't want to overanalyze any symptom. It's an anxiety symptom, okay? And we need to use the two main keys. Are you still saving your lives? I'm not really sure what that means. Not really sure what that means. Okay, I can just do this, which make it a lot easier to read chat. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for that $1 donation from Jasmine. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I believe you went straight through the PayPal, which is fine, but just keep in mind it's a fairly new thing around here that unless you go through the link in the description, yes, in the description, you know, none of the fancy stuff happens on screen. But if you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. Thank you for that $1 donation. I appreciate you. Did I miss the point of the video? Yes, but you can always rewind. I believe you can even rewind while we're still live. You can catch it after we upload it, or you can just rewind right now. This live video, you used to save them or upload them. They get uploaded. They get uploaded. Thoughts mean jack shit about who you really are, okay? They don't mean anything about who you really are. If you're identified with your mind and you believe that the thoughts are somehow you, then they can shape your reality and you can start to believe that they mean something. But at the end of the day, you're not your mind. Exactly, Connor. We don't want to obsess because we know that the body doesn't know the difference between an obsession and a real threat. We're snacking out. We're snacking out. Wonder Bro, wish me luck. I have a little anxiety right now because I have a job interview tomorrow. You don't need luck as far as anxiety is concerned because nothing will ever happen to you. Ever. We just have to come to that realization. Stop obsessing. Okay? That's the key. The more we obsess about it, the more our body reacts. If I believe my thoughts, will it come true, specifically intrusive thoughts? I wish that were the case, because if that were true, I would believe that I would get $1 million, and hopefully I'd get $1 million. But that's just not the case, so whether you believe your intrusive thoughts or not, that doesn't mean it's going to come true. That's the thing, right? For the longest time, I believed I was going to go crazy. I never went crazy. So just because you necessarily believe in an intrusive thought or believe that it might be true doesn't mean it is true at all. It could be Angela. It's mostly just due to a tired mind and body. I do have several videos on depression, by the way, you guys. I know we don't talk about it a whole lot here on the channel, but I do have several videos on it. Thank you for that $25 donation from David Leon. I believe that's how you say that. Thank you, David, for that 25 bucks. I believe you went straight through the PayPal, which is fine with me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So grateful for that. So grateful for that. You are awesome. That really helps me out more than you know. Thank you so much. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I can't overcome the catastrophic thoughts. Don't try to overcome them. Just let them be. Just every time you get one. Okay, we don't want to jump in and get involved. We just accept them. The more you get involved, the more power they gain, the more they come back around. So every time you get one, don't try to fight with it or overcome it. Just accept it, just like you would the feelings. That's all you got to tell yourself. Okay. You've helped me so much since I found your channel last year. I've healed 90%. I just have a lingering occasional deja vu feeling. Continue going straight forward. Wonder Bro, I started watching Trailer Park Boys Great Show. It is such an amazing show. No, but what are you doing? Stop it. What are you over here doing? Go away. Go away. Why are you over here ripping stuff up? Come on. Go. 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 Go, 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 go. Do cigarettes make anxiety worse? Some people think they do. Some people think they don't. So, I mean, it really comes down to what you believe. Like, if you believe it's going to, you might trick yourself into believing that, and as a result, you might obsess. And as a result of your obsession, you might start to feel more anxiety. So, it doesn't mean your thoughts are true, but if you believe them and you continue to entertain them, that's the important part. If you continue to entertain them, the body's going to feel that. Guys, we forgot our clap emojis. Don't forget, that's a thing. Anytime I read out donations, we use our clap emojis. Can we get a bunch of clap emojis for David and his donation, please? We forgot. The chat forgot. I forgot too, honestly. Have you ever watched The Sopranos? Tony Soprano's. I've never watched it. I've never actually watched it. I've heard a lot about it. I heard it's a pretty good show. I see a lot of names in here today that I don't recognize. Maybe my memory is just like terrible today, but I see a lot of names in here I don't recognize. But yeah, anytime we get a donation, whether it pops up on screen or I read it out, whatever, we always spam the chat with clap emojis, just to let them know that we're thankful. We're trying to make that a thing. We're trying to make that a thing around here. Yes, Jay. Absolutely. Oh, I need to move that. There we go. There we go. Better. Oh, absolutely. I believe one of the most common symptoms of prolonged anxiety is short-term memory problems. Absolutely. Hi, bro. Nice to be here. Hello, Rita. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Alright, guys. I'm going to switch to the BRB screen for like 2 seconds. I will return. Continue to chat amongst yourselves and enjoy chatting. And what am I eating? I am eating some M&Ms. Alright, you guys. I will be right back. beautiful people. Let's get that light back up there. There we go. If you run it off, what do you think your brain's going to think? If you're running from your anxiety, what do you think your brain's going to think? Your brain's going to think, oh, they're running from a danger. So it's going to give you more. It's going to give you more because it sees you using the anxiety, and it doesn't know if there's a real tiger or not. It's completely up to you to show it whether there's a real tiger or not based on your behaviors. So if you're running away from panic, what do you think the panic's going to think? Your brain's going to think you're running away from a tiger. Did I catch a live? You did catch a live. They didn't fall into the loop exactly. What are you doing? Why are you over here tearing stuff up? Go away. Stop. Okay, go on. Stop ripping things up. Oh my god. Ow. You got it. It doesn't matter what your particular thought is. We don't want to follow it. We don't want to follow it. We want to accept it, but we don't want to follow it. I mean, you can run from your panic all you want, but you will see for yourself how it's going to give your brain the wrong message. You fall, as far as becoming sensitized goes, it's all about falling down that rabbit hole. It's all about falling down that rabbit hole, and some people doubt that, but understand this. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and your worry. So if you're worrying constantly about the symptoms you feel, whereas some people experience panic and then move on, okay, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that person who continued to obsess and worry and fall down that rabbit hole every single day became sensitized because the body does not know the difference between a real threat and a worry, so you're constantly taxing the nervous system. Does not take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And the people who have panic and then move on with their life and don't fall down the rabbit hole, they don't tax their nervous system, so as a result, they don't end up in the sensitized boat. That is very easy to understand. Very easy to understand. Some people doubt that and they want to point the blame at everything else. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere. You have to understand that very simple fact and understand that that is why these things happen. That is why people become sensitized. You have to understand that. You have to accept that. I know it's very easy to want to place the blame on everything else. In fact, I was the same way for the longest time, but you're not going to get anywhere with the victim mindset. You're just not. I already have several times actually, and you can find that just by typing it in the search bar. Yeah, if you guys are ever interested in like a particular video and you're wondering if I've done it, just try to search some keywords up in the search bar. Chances are I've done it already because I have hundreds of videos. There might be a few that I haven't tackled yet, but chances are I have covered it. So just search around a bit, you'll find it. Oh yeah, sensitized nerves, huge bluff. Depression can definitely play a part in it. Oh yeah, I guess I could close that out. There we go. There we go. Let's just drag this out of the way. Let's just drag this out of the way. I don't know why Nova's being so destructive today. So destructive today. Okay, there we go. I doubt everything gets stuck. Understand that doubt is just another thought form. So just like we would accept and not touch any of the other thoughts, we would do the same thing with thoughts of doubt. We would do the same thing with thoughts of doubt. I wouldn't give in to that habit. Don't give in to those OCD type habits. We want to show the brain by not touching these thoughts, okay, these feelings, that they're not real dangers. So, Nova is a cute name. I love that name, don't you? It's so cute. It's so cute. I'm glad you think so. I think so too. There's all sorts of strange OCD type habits out there. I think you missed my response to that, Kay. I went on quite a spill for several minutes on that question. Rewind a little bit, you might find the where I was going on about that. Not filtering the good and bad anymore, to stop being the security for your mind. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree, 110%. Yeah, no problem. If you miss anything, you can always rewind even while we're live. I mean, or you can always wait until we upload. It's late, I better get to bed. Before I start obsessing about my day. Good night, everyone. Do you sell those hats, Wonder Bro? I do not currently, until I get the, you know, the copyright for the name, and then I might be able to dabble in merch. But currently, I do not. Thank you, Jacob, for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys are so kind. You guys are so nice. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I love you guys. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You guys are great. Ooh. Thank you so much for that $50 donation. Wow. Thanks for your clarity. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry, but my sound was playing out of my speakers and not my headphones, so you probably heard a little bit of an echo effect on that. I'm sorry for that. Thank you for that $50 donation. Wow, holy shit. Holy shit. Thank you for that. Seriously. Thank you so much. That is awesome. You are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That's what happens when you go through the link. So if you close the live chat and you click on the link in the description when you donate, that is what happens. You get up on the Hall of Fame and the noise plays and all the fancy stuff. That's what happens when you go through the link. If you just go directly through the PayPal, which is fine, none of that happens. Just so you know, just so the people who donated before don't feel left out. That's why that happened. But thank you so much for that. Seriously, holy shit. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. That helps me a ton. Seriously. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. $50. Wow. Thank you so much. I know I keep saying it. I'm like beating it in the ground, but seriously. I just want you to know how grateful I am. Thank you so much. You are awesome. You guys are awesome. I would give you a giant hug right now if I could. But we'll have to just go for, I'll just hug the microphone. Thank you. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You're awesome. The actual issue doesn't matter. Exactly, because your sensitized nerves are just over amplified. Okay, they're just overreacting. If you weren't sensitized, you'd probably be laughing. And that's why we don't even want to, that's one of many reasons why we don't want to even bother fighting with the thoughts. Oh yeah, we're definitely a family here. 110%. 110%. We're definitely a family here. Don't be afraid to ask your questions, guys. I know sometimes I can be a hard ass about it, but that's just because I try to get through to everyone. Like, sometimes you need a little bit of tough love. So don't be afraid to ask your questions. There's no stupid question. If it sounds like I'm jumping onto you, I'm not. I'm just trying to make it very clear and straightforward with no bullshit. And I do that because I know how it feels to be a sensitized person and to not really grasp things. So don't be afraid to ask your questions. Even if you think it might be a stupid question, there's no stupid questions. Ask them. I will try to answer them. And the only reason sometimes I come off a little bit hard is because I'm just trying to get it through to you, because I know how it feels to be sensitized. So ask your questions. Might get a little dark. A lot of new faces that I don't remember in here tonight. I mean, that's awesome. Welcome. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oops. We on Twitter right now. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. WonderBroYo. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We shooting up in the followers. What happened? Oh, you guys are so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Yes, I understand that can be confusing. You can see a lot of people that tend to be worry warts, but they don't get sensitized. It really just depends on the person, okay? And I know that seems unfair. I know that seems unfair. Some people do fall down the rabbit hole and end up sensitized, but you have to understand that their worries are a little bit different than yours. They're not quite as intense as yours. So most people that end up in the sensitized boat, it is due to panic, and then they start to sensitize over that. They start to obsess over that, and those obsessions can be very severe and very persistent and extreme. Okay, compared to normal worries that normal. Not saying anybody who's sensitized is not normal, but you get what I'm saying. Normal people worries. They can be very severe compared to normal worries, and that's usually why you continue to sensitize. So if you have, like you say, your mom, for example, who worries about this and that, her worries about money or her worries about bills are nowhere near severe and persistent as your worries about symptoms. Does that make sense? Da, 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 Justina said, "You help me, I help you," with a $10 donation here. We're going to make this a thing too. I'm going to hug the mic because I can't give you a hug. But I'm going to hug the mic and pretend it's you. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. I really appreciate that. You guys are straight up spoiling me tonight, and I don't know how to say thank you enough. Just thank you. Just know that I am so grateful, and I wish I could express just how grateful I am, but it would be impossible. Just know that I am so grateful. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. You guys are awesome. You guys are spoiling me. Thank you so much. Okay, not to get sappy or emotional here, but that truly helps me out more than you know. Seriously, it does. I'm not gonna get into it, but it seriously helps. It helps me out more than you know. Okay, just know that. Just know that. Your mind can say that it's hard to sit there with panic and not want to wish it away. Your mind can say that. Don't follow that thought either. That's just another thought of the mind, right? So the mind chimes in with its negativity, but we don't have to touch that. I mean, it can say that all at once. We don't have to touch that. Ooh, there's the mind. I notice it. Okay. There's the symptoms. I notice them. Okay. So it's just a matter of You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of continuing to continuing to Involvement is what gets us down the rabbit hole. Let the body and mind put on its show, but don't get involved. Uh-oh, I'm messing stuff up. Oh boy, okay. Oh boy, okay, there we go, I fixed it. Aw, hugs. Yes, I wish I could give you guys hugs. I wish I could, I'm a hugger. But since I can't, I'll just start hugging the microphone. Don't forget, guys, we're also trying to make it a habit to spam the chat with clap emojis when we get donations to let our donators know that we're very thankful. We're trying to make that a thing around here. How do you not pay attention though? It's so loud. I mean, you can acknowledge it. Acknowledging it is fine, but you just accept that it's playing up here. You accept that it's playing up here, but you're just doing something else. You're just focused on something else. Okay? It can chime in, but you don't have to follow. No, Chris, you help us for free. You deserve them. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Donations are never required. If you can't donate, please do not break the bank trying to do so, but just know that I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Is it necessary to be perfect? No, absolutely not. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to give some dedication. You just have to, practice. She thinks I'm being dramatic, but it's really difficult. I totally understand that. A lot of people that, have never experienced it don't quite understand. I had made more progress than at any time. That is awesome. Keep it up. Keep it up. Alright guys, I gotta use the potty, so I'm gonna go BRB for a second. Continue to chat amongst yourselves, and yeah, I will be back. Alright. I apologize. That took me a lot longer than I thought it would originally. I apologize for that. How's everybody doing? What have we been talking about in chat? I'm going to continue to chill and hang out with you guys. But first, let's see here. Accidentally drag things around on accident. There we go. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette with you guys, chill with you guys for another minute or two, and then we're gonna get out of here. I didn't realize that we've already passed the hour mark. Wow, that kind of flew right by. That kind of flew right by. It took me 3 years of like, okay, let's try to make sure I get the timeline here. Somebody asked the age of 17, when at which age you have found Claire Week stuff. Not 3 years. It took me 3 bouts of sensitization is what I meant to say. Before I truly got the hang of it. I had anxiety ever since I was really little, like not just 17, but even younger. But not severe anxiety, not severe, not anything like sensitization. That came later on in my life. And then I had 3 major bouts of it that all lasted different periods of time, amounts of time, very prolonged. I didn't find Claire Weeks until my last bout. So as far as how old I was, I'm not really sure, but it was my last bout before I made the channel here. I found Claire Weeks, and then it took me quite some time to actually start using that advice. Like, I found the advice, but I wasn't using the advice. It took me some time to dedicate to it. I knew the advice, but I wasn't dedicating. And then I'd say it took me about a year to reach 100%. That doesn't mean it took me a year to feel relief. Don't get scared. It took me a year to say that I was 100%. I actually started to experience relief rather quickly, you know, given the circumstances when I started to dedicate. It doesn't really matter what your specific fear is, what your specific intrusive thought is. You just don't want to touch it. You can acknowledge it, that it comes, and we don't want to get frustrated that it comes. We can't do anything about that. But the more we touch it, the more power it gains, okay? And the more the brain starts to think this is some sort of danger. So we don't want to touch it. We can acknowledge it when it comes, but we just want to, you know, okay, okay, but we don't want to get involved. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you want to go about that. I know it's very, very tempting, extremely tempting to get involved, but that's the last thing we want to do. We fall down the rabbit hole, we give them fuel. Yes, but you actually have to do it though. That's the thing. You actually have to use acceptance and stop adding second fear mentally. You know, second fear happens mentally. It's what we add. It's touching the thoughts and getting involved with the thoughts. You know, that's second fear. And if you cut that out, and then you develop the habit of not adding second fear, you will heal your nerves. You will. All right. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bounce on out of here, you guys, since we're over an hour now. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, all the good stuff that you do. Thank you to all my donators tonight. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I love you guys. And until next time, as always, boom, right there. Right there. Stay awesome.